everybody. Let me tell you a little bit about my guest today. Like the rest of India, I discovered Jeo Baby cinema when I saw The Great Indian Kitchen in 2021. This film is an unflinching, uncompromising look at the gender dynamics that tend to underpin an average marriage. It's also a look at the hypocrisy that shrouds patriarchy in practice. Now, Geo's latest film, Kadal, has created quite a stir, not least because superstar Mammootty is playing a very different role from what he has done before. Like his other films, this film too, Kadal, is iconoclastic and it probes masculinity, patriarchy in the unique context of Kerala's socio-political milieu and the impact it has on women. Geo, thank you very much for talking to us. And, Kadal released about the end of November. Give me a sense of how the film has been received.
The film is received very well. There's an unexpected reception from the Kerala people, and after that, movie released in Bangalore, Chennai, major cities in India, maybe in South.
I saw it in
Mumbai also.
Yes,
yeah, Mumbai also, and all over India. Means all over India means mainly main cities: Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad. We're getting very, 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 very well reception. Totally unaccepted because we have confidence in the movie that movie will appreciate from the critics of the real kind of audience, serious kind of audience. But now in Kerala, all family going to they are watching, and so we are running, successfully running with household shows. Yeah.
So you're saying word of mouth has got families into this movie. So that is a big success for you, isn't it? To have entire families watching this story?
Yeah, yes. Actually, people will market this movie. They are putting stories, they are putting status. And that is a marketing thing for the movie Kaathal.
Right.
We just inform that kind of movie is coming, that's only, from the production house. And we will do some things, a kind of flex and paper arts, and just inform the audience that Kaathal is coming to you. And rest of all things by the audience, they are promoting.
Right.
That is a kind of political thing. I am treating like that. The movie is a progressive movie, and from side of audience, they are doing the same thing. They are promoting this. They are doing a kind of progressive political things. I was watching this movie and promoting this movie.
Geo, everyone's talking about the fact that superstar Mammootty, by deciding to play the role of Matthew in this movie, a middle-aged gentleman who has been in the closet and is then revealed to entire society as being a gay man. How much of a big deal is this kind of choice by Mammootty? Because it seems to be a very, very big deal to have a superstar do something like this, isn't it? Play a role like this. Give me an understanding of how big a deal it is.
When I hear the story, actually this screenplay written by Adarsh and Paulson.
Yes.
I have two writers.
Yes.
When I hear the story, firstly, the Matthew is, in my mind, Matthew is Mammootty.
Yes.
I have no other option. And I contact him, I meet him, I got an appointment. Then suddenly, we will do this. Why I choose Mammootty is I need an actor from Mammootty, and I need a human being, a sensible human being need for doing this role. That's why, that is another reason for choosing Mammootty. And he understood all about this movie, and he's also a part of the screenplay. He very, very valuable suggestions. And I know only Mammootty through his talkings, through his movies, and through his interviews like that. Then I sense that he's a sensible man, sensible human being. That's why I choose Mammootty. And rest of all things are very, very easy. And he also the producer of this movie, Mammootty Company. So everything was quite easy.
once
Yeah.
he came on board, both as an actor and as
Yeah.
the producer. But Gio, how radical is this choice for Mammootty to play a gay person's role? Because that seems to be a little bit of a buzz. Is that something that has shocked his large numbers of fans? And as a result of this decision, do you see acceptance for the queer community because Mammootty has decided to play this role? And and this story brings you into the world of somebody who lives with the secret and should not be.
Yeah, I have no doubts about this because I believe in this subject and believe in the screenplay. So a sensible man and sensible actor can understood what is this movie. So I think Mammootty don't take just fraction of second he take his decision. I will do this. There is no time for thinking. There is no time for one. I will say 1 or 2 days after. There is no kind of thing. See, suddenly, okay, we can do this. I think the screenplay and we narrated it very. We take almost more than 1 hour for narrating this story, and he has some little doubts, and we will clear that. And he gives some more suggestions. So that process was very easy, very cool. So he understood what we are doing. And he has lot of information about this community of people. So everything was easy.
I love the way that Mammootty is like a beautiful specimen of a human being, in the way he looks. He's tall, there is something very regal about him, and there's something very masculine about him. He is the epitome of masculinity in a sense. And in the way you've portrayed him and the way you've shot him, he doesn't say much. He's very silent, and his physicality, his body and his physicality convey a lot more about the character than dialogues. Why did you choose to do that? Because obviously this is a conscious decision you've made.
Well, the process of writing, I'm a part of the screenplay as a director.
Yes.
So we never think that Mammootty is doing. He's a kind of manly kind of actor, manly kind of characters. He's done a lot of character. He already done. And while in the time of shooting, me and my writers, we are discussing the same. What you said that when the time of we are in front of the monitor, we can see that. Oh, Mammootty doing all these things. What kind of characters he done before this? So that was an exciting point. After all, everything he's very passionate for the movies and passionate for what is he can doing newly. What is new for him? What is special for as an actor? What can he do for something very fresh? That's he's looking. That's why he chose Kadal. And also he know that this is a relevant kind of movie. So
but you decided not to give him a lot of dialogues. You decided to let the
character.
So why did you do that?
From the beginning the screenplay is like that. Actually this movie is for the all characters very few dialogues only.
Yes.
And we decided that we can work on silence. Personally, I like that kind of format, and I tried even in Great in the Kitchen also, because movie is a visual language, and there is a sound is there where the technical growth we can add sound in visual, but still I believe that movie is a kind of visual treat. So that's why in area of interval, in the climax, we totally there is no dialogue. We put lot of time for it. We put lot of effort for creating, especially the interval sequence.
Yes.
So me and my writers with lot of creative fight happened. So then that is a kick point. That is an energy for us for shooting that. I just giving to the music director and to the editor. They also have the same feel that this is working, and music director add lot of good things, and he passionately working on it, and editor also. So and as a filmmaker, this kind of things happening in the movie, actually movie is creating all this. Movies drive. Movie have a mind. I think that they need movie need some more from the movie can create themselves some scenes.
That's true.
So just we are the part of that movie. That's why, yeah.
That's an interesting way of describing how at some point the movie takes over the people making
Yeah,
it.
yes.
It's quite beautifully put.
Definitely.
I've seen several of your other films, including Shri Dhanya Catering Service,
Yeah.
Great Indian Kitchen, of course, The Little God. I've seen some of your movies, and you're clearly, there is an iconoclastic, you're iconoclastic. You're questioning the accepted social structures and how we look at things. Tell me, what is it that makes you look at men in the way you do? I know that people call you a feminist filmmaker. You are. But what you're doing is you're studying men and why they behave the way they behave, what is their behavior like, and the impact this has on women. In fact, I would say that in Kadal, while everybody's talking about that, the powerful scene between Mammootty's character, Matthew, and Omana, which is Jyotika's character, I feel another very powerful scene is between father and son. And the father-in-law of the Great Indian Kitchen, he just sits in the balcony and he actually has all the power. And here there is a father who sits in the balcony and who's watching everything and has all the power, but who then accepts that he has misused his power. So in a way, the man in the balcony, from Great Indian Kitchen to Kadal, has evolved. So give me a view and your take on men, and especially men in Kerala, because that is the milieu you are operating in.
Actually, all these things I find from my family and nearby my family. So in the time of Great Indian Kitchen, I change a lot while I'm writing, when I'm filming. After the Great Indian Kitchen, I got lot of reviews. We all know that. Lot of perspective about that movie, about women's life. So all this changed me. Actually, Great Indian Kitchen and after effects of Great Indian Kitchen, there's an eye open for me. And that character, Nimisha's husband, that is also me. A lot of my elements is there. And I slowly understand what men doing inside the family. And what kind of discrimination happening in our society, especially in gender area. So in Kaathal, I know all these kind of, I know Omena very well because I'm coming from a kind of Christian background. Right now I'm not a believer, but I was. I know that the religion, society, family, all these things are connected. Everything beginning from happening from the family. So after all, my actually Kadal is my sixth or seventh movie. Just I'm looking back. I'm in every movie. I'm trying to telling stories from inside the family. All the movies. So I'm working on it. In the family. How can we change that? How can we deconstruct it? How we deconstruct family? And if Matthew and Duncan, Matthew's partner, what happened? They will live together in that house with their father. So we can't accept that. Family is a very strictly a kind of jail. Every family. Yeah. I felt that because me and my partner discussing. I know that even I'm a kind of feminist filmmaker, but in my house, my partner facing a lot of issues from me because I'm a male. I'm a male from Kerala. I'm a male from India. So that's a taboo and that's a social conditioning. We have to. We need a reverse conditioning. So that's not we can through this movie. So we can change a lot of things. We can change our education system, our curriculum. So that's not a simple process. It's a long process. We can do something for the next generation. So I think family is the main issue. Everything beginning from the family. So this is not actually purposefully happened in my movies, through my movies. Every time I'm thinking about why people like behave like this, why men behave
Have
like
all
this.
these privileges. Why do they
Yeah,
behave
yeah,
with
yeah.
so much power?
When I approach Sridhanya Catering, I'm trying to do a comedy film.
But
It's a
it's
flop
more
in the.
than, it's very funny. It's
Yeah,
very
yes,
funny.
yeah,
You know, the
yeah.
guy
But
who's talking about koi biryani and who's the
yeah,
maker who ruins everything. All these characters are beautiful. Even the character you play, Shibu,
yes, yes, yeah.
you know, so
Yeah, I was like that before 5 or 6 years ago. Before mainly from my marriage, I was living like the extra life of me and my friends. Yeah. So and after that, after my marriage, after great engagement, I changed a lot.
mm,
I understand what I'm doing to the
I,
others.
I,
So
I
and
think,
Bina helps a lot for my partner.
so
Helps
I
a
think
lot
you have
for
to,
identifying myself. Yeah.
yeah, I think you have to publicly acknowledge that the fact that she has
Yes,
made
yes.
you a man in that sense and an artist,
Yeah.
right? That interaction as a
Yeah,
husband.
I publicly say that the husband of Nimisha and father of that husband, all from myself. Yeah, that is not I created.
Sure.
And the shades of I know lot people, same kind of people I know.
But Gio, you know,
That's all.
it's so interesting that you are able to acknowledge that the characters you create are also live within you, and that there is evolution is possible. You accept the fact that change is possible. Is that because your films also have a happy ending? There has been some criticism that why does Gio have to tie everything up very neatly? Everything is happy. There's a rainbow in the sky. You
Yeah.
know, I wonder too sometimes when I see your films that why is, you know, in Shri Dhanya, the mother and daughter go off on the cycle in the end. So it's actually quite lovely and uplifting. But do you have an idealistic point of view, or do you want to use your medium to ensure that there is a positivity? Because you are actually dealing with some very tough, you're holding a mirror and the mirror is not showing a pretty picture, it's showing an ugly picture. Is that why you need a happy ending?
Yeah, no, because uh, I believe that I just it's a kind of dream that in Saidanya woman cycling, they are mother and daughter cycling in a tourist area, and in Kadal there is a uh, rainbow.
Matthew and
There is a
Duncan go away in the car and
yeah
again,
there is a there's a progressive kind of ending. That's my dream. A society be like that.
yeah.
Yeah, one of my movie named The Little God,
Yes,
Kunjadevam. The
yes.
end is also same like that. A little boy
Goes to help
run
his
away from
friend.
the religion.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, religion. Yeah, is escaping from the religion. I don't know that will be happening very soon in our society. No, I know that. That's a dream, like a dream that. So I uh, only shows only through my films maybe.
So you show the
I,
reality and then you end it on a note which is your hope and your dream. That
yeah,
is what
yes,
you're doing.
yes.
There is so much to talk about, but I know you're very busy. The film is not being shown in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in Kuwait. How much will it impact your the business of this film? Because Mammootty's film not showing in these countries is quite an
Yeah.
impact, right? And therefore, your creative decision and your decision to tell this story has had a direct business impact. And filmmaking is art and commerce together.
Definitely it's arts and commerce, and it definitely affect the business. And the other part is people from that area, Gulf countries,
Mm,
they can't watch this movie.
mm.
We are living in
20.
2023. Some part of the world they can't watch a movie. At the same time, some part of the world there is a war happening.
Yes.
Some part of the area, people can't watch a movie. We are living in a very digitally and technically, scientifically, very developed world. But we are thinking like this. If then some of foolish kind of people thinks, only few people thinks that a movie can affect the people. What a foolishness. So people can change, and leaders can also rethink. So this is very sad situation, very, very sad. So I don't know about what is this. I'm too much sad about this. Also, censoring is a also there is a censoring in every country.
Of course.
This is too much. Yeah.
And is there self-censoring? Because, you know, in the movie, we know Tanaka, what is Matthew's partner's name? Just pronounce it. Duncan's face and his expressions are so beautiful, and they convey his story, you know, silently like everyone else's in the movie. Is there a reason that you did not show any physical intimacy or contact between these characters? Yeah. Was that self-censorship of a kind to make the movie more acceptable?
No. That's not a sense. That's not regarding self-censorship. It's our approach like that. From the screenplay is like that, and there is a beauty in
yes,
they have a distance. If they are both standing on same position, Matthew standing just behind Duncan, but they can't speak, they can't hug, they can't touch, only because of the society. That's why we treat like that.
Jeo,
okay.
Yes, this is a wonderful conversation. I wish you good luck and look forward to your next film, and hopefully more conversations when you have a little more, bandwidth and time, because your cinema gives us a lot to talk about. Thank you very much.
Sure, dear. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the best.